What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Clayton, and today we are going to be reviewing Mission Impossible Trace. Sorry it's been a while. Hasn't been too long since I dropped the MI2 review. But yeah, I'm excited to get into MI3. I think we've already hit our lowest part of this series of the MI series with MI2. I do think that's likely going to be the worst of these movies. You see my review on the first Mission Impossible, gave that one 3 stars, liked it. Today we're reviewing MI3, and this one is certainly better than MI2. So should be upward trend now from MI2. So let's get into reviewing this movie, give my thoughts, my opinion. And it, again, this is just my opinion. If you guys disagree with it, it's totally fine. Just be respectful about it. Yeah, let's get into it. Mission Impossible 3, starring Tom Cruise again, Ving Rhames, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Michelle Monaghan, and then we also get the debut of Benji's character in this one as well by Simon Pegg. So this is kind of like we're getting into like the core cast of the MI series now. So directed by J.J. Abrams and released in 2006. So I think it's interesting that you had the first Mission Impossible that was released in 96, and then they wait 4 years before they drop the second one, 2000, and then they wait 6 years before they drop the third one, being in 2006. So they definitely took their time with these first 3 movies, making sure that they put a good script together, put a good story together, and then execute. Find the pieces that they need to make the film work, and then deliver. So that's one thing I like that they did here. They didn't just rush out a third film after the success of the second one. They took their time, they pumped the brakes, they put together a good story and script, and then they went in and tackled it. So because you don't see that very much. It's not common for movies to do that. When a film does really good in the box office and is really successful, they automatically want to pump out like 6 more movies, and they'll write 3 scripts within a matter of like a year, and then the movies just aren't that good because the script was rushed, the story was rushed, the film was rushed. It's a headache for everybody, and yeah, the films just aren't good. But that's not what they did here. So I like that they were patient. They took their time, and they gave us a really good Mission Impossible movie. So yeah, good on them for that. But getting into the positives with Mission Impossible 3, there are a lot of positives. I do really like this one. I think this is a definitely an action-packed film. There's a lot of action going on in it. It's a fast-paced, fast-moving movie, which I also like. It keeps you invested in the action. There's no downtime. You're not going to get bored with this movie because there's stuff going on all the way through. So I also like that by now we've spent 2 movies with Ethan, and we know that character pretty well, but they still developed him more. So now coming into MI3, he's a married man now. He's settled down. He's gotten engaged, and he's now training operatives for the IM missions, but he's not in the field anymore. And I like that they did that. They added another layer to that character. They developed him more. They said, okay, let's see how he would be in this type of setting. And I like that. 2 movies in, and they're still developing the Ethan character. So that's a positive for me. I like that we actually have an antagonist in this film that feels legitimate, like a legitimate threat. Philip Seymour Hoffman plays Owen Davian in this movie, the antagonist, and he just nails it. He nails it. Phil Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. Was a great actor, man. Very, I think, an underrated actor. I don't think he gets a lot of times the credit that he deserves, because he truly was a great talent and a great actor, and he delivers really strong in this film. I from the opening scene, I buy into him as a character. I buy in to his threat. He's just this cold, heartless guy that is just he's yeah, he's a legitimate threat to Ethan. He's smart, and I like that he kind of there's a number of times in this movie he kind of goes toe to toe with Ethan. Like, Ethan tries his typical antics on him, trying to you know, pull his typical Ethan mind tricks on Owen, and Owen doesn't take it. He kind of, he knows Ethan's games. That's the best way to put it. He knows Ethan's games. He doesn't let Ethan get in his head. He doesn't put up with Ethan's antics or anything like that. He is just a cold dude, man. And Phil Seymour Hoffman just knew how to play that role in a very entertaining and engaging way, where I was like, I'm invested with the character. I want to see more of him. And yeah, just, he's one of those villains that matches up really well with the protagonist. And that's always what makes the threat better in a film, is when your protagonist is going up against someone who can match him in whatever it is, whether it's intellect, strength, brutality, skill set, whatever it is. And I didn't get that at all in the first one. I got that a little bit in the second one, but in this one, I definitely think Phil Seymour Hoffman as Owen Davian is definitely the best antagonist so far through the first 3 movies. Really solid character, and great performance by Philip. Great performance by Cruise too, man. I think this is his best performance so far as Ethan. I think he's really, by this point, come into that character, knows how to play that character, knows how he wants to play the character. And man, a lot of emotion he adds to that character in his performance. A lot of emotion in this one. So the stakes seem higher. The action is nonstop all the way through. I like all of that stuff. I like his relationship with Ving Rhames. I think it gets better here as well. I think they start kind of, you start seeing their friendship and their sarcasm with each other. I like that as well. I like that we finally get to see Benji. Benji comes in here. He's one of my favorite characters in this franchise. And he's so entertaining. He's one of those characters that every time he's on scene, you're having a good time with him. So yeah, I wish we could have got more of him, and that's not a criticism of the movie. That's actually a positive of the movie. When a movie gives you a supporting character that you really like and you want to see more of him, that means that the movie did its job. That means that the writers did their job writing this character that pulls you in, and writing an engaging character, and that the actor did his job in the performance of that character. So yeah, I think that the Benji character is definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I think he's a great character, and Simon Pegg, who plays him, I think just he adds this layer of charm and charisma to that character that is just really a really fun character. So yeah, I like Benji, seeing Benji in there. I like the look of this film. I think it was shot really nicely by J.J. Abrams. I definitely think that he has a good visual eye as far as aesthetics. It looked good. I think he shot the action really well. Yeah, I don't really have any real negatives in the directing department here. I think the camera shots were good, were well executed. The lighting was good. It looked good. The sound was good. The score was good. The set pieces were good. No real negatives for me with the directing by J.J. Abrams. Definitely one of his best, maybe his best directed film. You guys seen my ranking of the Star Wars movies, you know, was not a big fan of his stuff there. But yeah, here he nails it. It gave us a great Mission Impossible movie. So well directed film, well acted. I think everyone, Michelle Monaghan did a really good job playing Julia, Tom Cruise's fiance and wife in the movie. So yeah, the acting was really good in this one as well. So I enjoyed all those things. Characters were a positive. I didn't really have any negatives with any of the characters in this film. I think all the characters that we were introduced to were pretty good. I wasn't that big of a fan of Lawrence Fishburne's character in this one. To me, maybe it might just be on him, the fact that he always seems to play the same type of character. It seems like in every movie I see him in, he's always like the top guy that's always chewing down someone's, chewing down someone else's throat, and giving us a bunch of exposition, or just there to be kind of a bully. So I didn't really care for his character. I don't think we really needed much of him. But outside of him, I think I was on board with pretty much all the other characters in this movie. So, and even he wasn't like, it wasn't a huge negative. It wasn't like he was a character that just got on my nerves or anything like that. I just didn't really care for him as a character or his performance. But yeah, that's not a big deal for me. But yeah, those are my positives, guys. I really like this movie. I mean, it gave me everything that I wanted it to give me in an MI movie. The action was there, the characters were there, the script was there, the performances were there. As far as negatives go, I think the only negatives that I really am affected by in this movie, one of them is with Ethan's story. I feel like he'd quit the field, and he's now training people for the IM agency. And I feel like that character wouldn't have made that decision if he wasn't sure that he would stay out of the field. And then the first operation that they present to him, he takes. You know, it's like, dude, he's already planning his wedding. He's already planning to get married. He's already made this decision to stay out of the field, be committed to his fiance wife, and then the first mission that you give him, oh yeah, let's go take it. I don't know if I really buy that. I think that was, I mean, I understand they had to get him in some way, but I feel like maybe they could have thought through that a little better. And then the wedding itself, it was like, dude, you spend this in the first act, you show them throwing this party and talking about the wedding, everyone's there, and then the way that they ended up just rushing it to get them married, it's like, why couldn't you just let them be engaged throughout the whole movie? Like the wedding scene itself and how that was done, it just seems like it was way too rushed. Like they, for whatever reason, they felt like they had to get them married by the end of this movie. And it's like, why? Why did you have to get them married by the end of this movie? I don't know. That the wedding scene itself, if you've seen this movie, I'm trying to be spoiler free. If you've seen this movie, you know the scene I'm talking about felt a little weak to me. But yeah, I don't know that I buy that those characters would do that. So, and then in the script, there were a few. Some of the dialogue felt a little weak to me in some areas. But overall, there's not a whole lot of negatives I have with this movie. Really good film, well acted, well directed, well written for the most part. I give Mission Impossible 3.5 stars. Really good film. Really enjoy it. It's just knowing where this franchise goes. Some of the other ones that are going to come later, I think, just do more for me. This is a film that I really enjoy and have a good time with, but there's nothing in it that pushes it to a 4-star tier movie for me. 4-star tier movies are movies that I love, okay? And I just don't know that there's enough in this one for me to push it to the 4-star tier. 3.5 stars, really enjoyed it. Good movie, has a lot going for it, but some of the later ones just do a little more for me. So that's it, guys. That's my thoughts on Mission Impossible 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What would you rate this film? Is this your favorite film in the franchise? Spoiler free, so if you haven't seen it, you can still hopefully go and watch it and enjoy it. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time, as always, kick it and rock on.